Brain researchers have called it the most powerful memory booster ever discovered. Doctors are having extraordinary success using it to fight severe memory loss. They're giving it to their worst-case patients who suffer from cognitive decline. And they're shocked to see that after using this breakthrough, their memories and their mental performance are dramatically and rapidly improved. This new brain and memory-enhancing discovery also has no serious side effects, is supported in hundreds of major scientific studies, and starts working in as little as 15 minutes. It's not a medication or prescription drug, and it's not omega-3, ginkgo biloba, caffeine, or any other supplement you've heard of. Yet it's recently been featured in places like ABC News, Dr. Oz, Bloomberg, CNN, The Washington Post, and Scientific America. And today, tens of thousands of people say it's helped them with their memory loss, brain fog, mental fatigue, lack of focus, and more. Everyone from aging senior citizens to billionaires in Silicon Valley swear by it. And because this breakthrough, which I'll be sharing with you inside this short video, is considered to be so incredibly effective, even the Russian government is now trying to seize control of it, so that they can give their people a secret edge over citizens in the United States. That's why, if you or a loved one suffers from memory loss, no matter whether it's already severe or simply part of getting older, you must keep watching this urgent video right now. Because in the next 7 minutes, I'm going to share exactly what this memory-restoring discovery is, all of the science behind how it works, including specific double-blind studies that back up everything I'm saying, and how you can start using it today to regain clarity, focus, and brain performance you had in your 20s. Before I do all of that, however, I need to warn you. The Russians aren't the only ones trying to keep this memory breakthrough from you. Big Pharma is also praying you don't find out about this, because this proven memory-protecting miracle is so strong, yet safe, non-habit-forming, and shockingly inexpensive. They're terrified that if this continues to go viral, it will cost them billions in lost profits. That's why they're already racing to patent this discovery, so that the only way you can get this memory-restoring secret is by paying a markup of 1,000% or more. So please, pay close attention to the following information, because it may be the only way to quickly and cheaply protect your memory and the memory of those you love, before it's too late. Hi, my name is Dan. I'm a retired steelworker and the proud grandfather to 2 beautiful girls and 2 handsome boys. Now you might be thinking it's crazy that an ex-steelworker is spending his retirement telling everyone about a memory-improving breakthrough. But the truth is, not only is this something that scientists believe could strike a major blow to Alzheimer's, dementia, and other major brain-related diseases, it also helped eliminate my brain fog in just a few short days. And the effects it had on my father's severe memory loss were even more amazing. You see, when my dad's memory started to go, our whole family definitely took notice. But we also figured it was part of the aging process and that there was nothing we could do. And to be honest, we weren't all that worried, because mostly it was just little things affecting my dad, like him not remembering where he'd left the TV remote or forgetting about conversations and important dates. The kind of stuff that all of us go through as we age. Within a few months of noticing Dad's memory issues, however, things started taking a rapid and dramatic turn for the worst. Not only was Dad starting to act depressed and suffering from increasingly violent mood swings, he was suddenly forgetting entire memories and events from his life. It was really jarring and gut-wrenching to watch happen. He'd go to tell us a story, and his mind was just shoot blank. Suddenly, it was like my father just wasn't there at all. And when he did manage to make it through one of his stories without losing his train of thought, we were dismayed to find that just minutes later, Dad would start telling the exact same story again. The doctor put Dad on donepezil, but it wasn't making any improvements that I could notice. In fact, just about the only thing donepezil did was give my dad a whole lot of horrible new side effects to deal with. Things like constipation, blurred vision, slurred speech, muscle cramps, nausea, and drowsiness. Plus, when I discovered that some of the major side effects of donepezil even included depression and confusion, which are 2 of the main symptoms of Alzheimer's, I had the sinking realization that these big pharma medications were a complete scam. This feeling was only further confirmed when I read the small print and disclaimer on donepezil and other drugs like it, and saw that all of them said they'd lose effectiveness over time and couldn't actually stop memory decline, meaning these drugs weren't even something that could ever truly help my dad. At this point, I was growing lost and scared. I contemplated having to say goodbye to my father forever. A man who had been my hero, who I'd always looked up to. I had no false illusions about what this horrible experience would be like either, because the same thing had happened to my mother-in-law. After she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in 2004, she lived for another 10 years. Yet for almost all of those years, she had no idea who she was, where she was, or who anyone else was. Most of her family stopped visiting her because they thought it was a waste of time and pointless. And she lived out those remaining years of her life in a nursing home, abandoned and alone. It made me sick to think that the same fate could be in store for my father. Yet, what could I do? One option was to just accept it. Accept that Dad was never going to be Dad again, and that there was nothing I could do. I won't lie and say that it wasn't tempting to just throw my hands in the air and give up. To just play the victim and go around telling my sob story. To be a quitter. But that wasn't how Dad raised me. That wasn't how I'd spent my life, when I'd busted my ass in the steel mill every day for 40-plus years, working to live the American dream and put food on the table for my family. I don't know about you, but I believe that in America we're fighters, and so I did the only thing I felt like I could do. I rolled up my sleeves and started looking for a solution. My first thought was that maybe there was some natural supplements that would be able to help. So I started looking into things like ginkgo biloba, ginseng, caffeine, and fish oils that were heavy in omega-3s. What I quickly discovered, though, was that while there was a small amount of research that ginkgo and caffeine could help with short-term concentration and focus, these effects were very limited and not long-lasting at all. I'm talking about, at most, a couple of hours of greater focus, followed by crashes and fatigue immediately after. Plus, I wasn't just interested in something that could improve focus in a healthy person for an hour. I wanted to find something that would help to stop memory loss in people as they aged, something that could put an end to brain fog and mental fatigue forever. None of these popular memory supplements did anything remotely close to that. So I looked into fish oil, hoping I'd have better luck there. Turns out, however, that despite all of the fanfare, fish oil does absolutely nothing to improve your memory. In fact, I was really surprised to see that in a 5-year clinical study of more than 4,000 users of omega-3 supplements like fish oil, one of the biggest and longest-lasting studies ever done on a supplement, the lead scientist on the study, who was also the clinical director for the National Institute of Health, went on record as saying that we didn't see any benefit of omega-3 supplements for stopping cognitive decline. Well, when I read that, my heart just sank. Because despite seeing tons of memory-enhancing supplements advertised all over the web and on places like Amazon, when I rolled up my sleeves and dug deep, the research to back up the claims just wasn't there. I was honestly pretty close to throwing in the towel, but a voice in my head told me I needed to keep going, because that's what Dad would do too. Well, thank God I made that decision, because the following week I came across something really interesting. Something that, while I didn't know it at the time, would wind up being the key to turning the page against Dad's memory loss. And that's now helped more than 48,000 other Americans to rapidly and quickly improve their mental performance. You see, what I came across was an article from ABC News talking about something called nootropics. I'd never heard of nootropics before, but according to the reporters from ABC, nootropics are smart drugs or supplements that boost brain function, help to improve memory, and enhance focus. Now, the article mostly focused on Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, and there was even a quote in it from Chris Sacca, the billionaire investor who regularly appears on Shark Tank, and who said they'd helped him improve mental performance in the past. Well, this got me wondering if maybe they could help senior citizens like my dad, too. So I started digging more deeply into nootropics, and I was shocked about the amount of news coverage they were getting. CNN said they were driving Silicon Valley. Forbes magazine said the Silicon Valley's richest are investing in them, and that they can make you better, stronger, and faster. The San Francisco Chronicle wrote about how they were gaining momentum as smart pills. The Washington Post talked about people tweaking their brains with smart drugs to get an edge over their competition. Even Dr. Oz had done a long special about nootropics and their improvements to memory. The list just went on and on. So at this point I was pretty convinced that smart drugs probably had some benefits. And I couldn't help but wonder why it was that only these billionaires in California seemed to know about them. I mean, heck, if they were as great as people said they were, why weren't us older folks being told about them? Guys like me and my dad who spent our whole lives working hard for an honest wage, using our bare hands and pulling ourselves and our families up by the bootstraps. So I dug even deeper and started examining individual nootropic ingredients to see if there was any research on how they affected people suffering from memory decline due to aging, and cautiously hopeful that just maybe they could help my dad. The first ingredient I looked into was Noopept, which, as I found out, is one of the most famous nootropic ingredients out there. Noopept was first developed in Russia to treat age-related cognitive decline, and today one of Russia's largest pharmaceutical companies owns the patent on it, which means in Russia you can only get it with an expensive prescription. Fortunately, however, it's still available without a prescription in the United States, and because Noopept is made from a combination of natural amino acids, it's considered very safe and without major side effects. Now, when it comes to actual research behind Noopept, I was immediately impressed. In a major study published in the journal Bulletin of Experimental Biology and Medicine, it was found that after Noopept was given to subjects suffering from amnesia, 70% of the subjects experienced memory improvements following a single high dose, and 90% experienced major memory improvements after receiving just 10 milligrams of Noopept for 9 days. Meanwhile, in a study published in the journal Brain Research Bulletin, it was found that Noopept increases brain activity and alpha wave function in all areas of the brain, leading scientists and researchers to suggest that it would improve mental performance in all of those who take this smart pill. Plus, that was just the beginning. In another major study published in the Journal of Biomedical Science, it was found that Noopept prevented 4 different kinds of brain damage, including Alzheimer's disease. That it protected brain cells by inhibiting oxidative damage and cell death, and that it helped to fight inflammation and damaging free radicals in the brain as well. And in yet another major study, this one also published in the Bulletin of Experimental Biology and Medicine, researchers concluded that Noopept's efficiency in many models of Alzheimer's disease, its high bioavailability and low toxicity suggests this dipeptide for further studies as a potential agent for the treatment of Alzheimer's disease. Well, needless to say, I was shocked. I mean, while Noopept is prescribed millions of times each year in Russia and has been shown in top-tier research to prevent memory loss, stop cell death in the brain, and to even help with diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia, I'd never heard of it, and I bet you never heard of it either. I couldn't help but wonder if there were other nootropic ingredients out there like Noopept. And sure enough, I quickly uncovered 3 additional nootropic ingredients, which I'll share with you right now. The second nootropic ingredient I uncovered is piracetam. Piracetam was first discovered in 1964 by scientists at one of Belgium's leading pharmaceutical companies. These scientists were shocked by piracetam's ability to boost mental functioning and its safety. And before long, piracetam began being prescribed all over Europe, Russia, and Asia. Yet, in the United States, piracetam still remains very unknown, which is shocking given the research behind it. For example, in a major 2015 study that involved 12,193 dementia patients and lasted 10 years, it was found that not only did piracetam improve mental performance and mental clarity, but that it also increased the lifespan of dementia patients who used it. Meanwhile, in a 2014 study that was randomized and included 184 patients, it was found that there was a statistically significant difference observed in those patients who took piracetam regularly, including both short-term and long-term memory, along with cognitive function. Then there was a comprehensive meta-analysis that was published in the Journal of Dementia and Geriatric Cognitive Disorders, which reviewed 19 double-blind, placebo-controlled studies involving piracetam and elderly patients suffering from dementia and cognitive impairment. This one is especially important because double-blind placebo-controlled studies are the most rigorous studies in all of science. They have strict guidelines, and it's very difficult to tamper with or distort the data. Which is why I was so shocked to see that after reviewing 19 of these studies on piracetam and elderly folks with memory loss, the researchers concluded that there was compelling evidence for the global efficacy of piracetam in a diverse group of older subjects with cognitive impairment. So at this point, I was starting to get truly excited. And when I turned my attention to another nootropic ingredient called choline, my excitement reached a near feverish pitch. Choline is a micronutrient that can be found in some common food sources, including eggs. Yet most research suggests that if you don't consume enough choline, it can negatively affect your memory and ability to learn. Now, the good news is that the opposite is also true. Adding more choline to our diets can have a major impact on our memories and mental performance. For example, in one major 2015 study published in the journal Scientific Reports that was double-blind, randomized, and placebo-controlled, it was found that choline is important for the communication between motor neurons and the control of skeletal muscles, which is just another way of saying that choline can increase coordination and reaction times. Plus, in another major study, this one published in the Journal of Neuroscience, it was discovered that choline is pivotal for arousal, attention, and cognitive processes, that not consuming enough choline sometimes leads to cognitive impairments like those manifested in Alzheimer's disease, and that choline can increase the brain's ability to heal itself, focus, and learn new things. Not only that, but I also discovered through my research that choline turns out to be even more effective when it's combined with piracetam, the nootropic ingredient I just told you about. In fact, in a landmark study published in the journal Neurobiology of Aging, when a group of elderly subjects were given a combination of piracetam and choline, they exhibited retention scores several times better than those given piracetam alone, leading the team of scientists to conclude these effects may reduce specific memory disturbances in aged subjects. All right, so this brings us to the fourth nootropic ingredient I want to share with you. It's called L-theanine. L-theanine is an active ingredient in tea, where it serves to promote a calming and soothing effect. In other words, it's kind of like the anti-caffeine in tea, and it's why people can drink several cups of caffeinated tea without feeling jittery. Now, the reason L-theanine is considered to be a nootropic is because in hundreds of major studies, L-theanine has shown extremely impressive results in improving memory. For example, in a major study published in the journal Trends in Food Science and Technology, it was found that L-theanine acts as a neurotransmitter in the brain, helping to improve the time it takes to remember important information and reducing the time it takes to learn new things. These findings are also backed up by another major study, this one published in the Journal of Nutrition, where scientists discovered that L-theanine is able to cross the blood-brain barrier so that it can bind to the neurotransmitters associated with learning and memory while increasing brain activity. And if these studies weren't enough to get you excited about L-theanine, consider that a recent study in neurotoxicology found that results suggest that L-theanine directly provides neuroprotection against Parkinson's disease-related neurotoxicants, and it may be clinically useful for preventing Parkinson's disease symptoms. While another recent study, this one published in the journal Phytotherapy Research, found that theanine prevents memory impairment by protecting against neuronal cell death. And yet another recent study published in Neuroscience Letters studied the effects of L-theanine on the brain and concluded that these results suggest that theanine directly provides neuroprotection against brain damage. Finally, to top it all off, there was a 2014 study published in the Journal of Molecular Neurobiology, where L-theanine was shown to have significant effects on regulating proteins that could be responsible for Alzheimer's, leading the researchers to say that based on these results, they wanted to propose a new preventative candidate, L-theanine, for the treatment of Alzheimer's. Well, at this point, I had goosebumps. Here was this whole new class of ingredients, things that were proven to help fight memory decline and improve mental performance, and that were being prescribed to patients all over the world, often with incredible results. I couldn't understand why no one in the U.S. had heard about these ingredients, but I was determined to get my hands on these different nootropics as fast as possible, so I could give them to my dad and see if they helped. That turned out to be harder than I imagined, because it turns out getting some of these ingredients, especially Noopept and Piracetam, was not easy. First, I had to confirm that the places I was ordering the ingredients from were actually legitimate, which was no small feat, especially because I was dealing with a lot of shifty suppliers in Europe and Asia. In fact, it took me over 2 months to find a supplier who actually had high-quality Noopept and Piracetam. Then it took another month and a half to get the ingredients, because bringing them in from overseas was a long process, and I had to deal with customs. Finally, though, more than 3 months after deciding to give my father the 4 ingredients I'd discovered, I finally had them in hand. And then I had a local manufacturer in town carefully blend them together for me into individual capsules, so that they were easy for Dad to swallow and had the right amount of each ingredient. Then it was the moment of truth. I was filled with anxiety when I gave Dad his 2 capsules. And while he did seem a bit more alert and focused after taking these nootropic ingredients, I won't lie and say that he was instantly back to normal. Still, it was a promising start. So I kept giving Dad his 2 capsules each day. And sure enough, within a matter of days, I started to see major changes for the better. Suddenly, not only was Dad more alert and no longer having mood swings, he was carrying on full conversations with my wife and I. He also was no longer forgetting what he was trying to say mid-sentence. And he shocked me when out of nowhere he told me a story about his time in World War II, one that I'd never heard before, and recalled it in crystal clear detail. The only way I can describe it is by saying it was like I suddenly had my dad back again, after I'd been afraid that I'd lost him forever. And when I started trying out these nootropic ingredients for myself, I was amazed to see that you don't need to suffer from severe memory loss to benefit from their effects. You see, while my memory problems weren't remotely as bad as my dad's, I had been struggling with brain fog occasionally, and I definitely noticed that my memory wasn't as sharp as it used to be. Yet by the second week of taking these 4 nootropic ingredients, it was as if I was an entirely different person. My brain fog was just gone. I wasn't having any of the mental crashes or bouts of fatigue that had been plaguing me for several years. And I was present and alert during every single moment. Soon enough, others in my community were asking what the heck was going on. They'd seen the changes in me, and they'd heard about my father's remarkable turnaround. And now they wanted to try these 4 nootropic ingredients for themselves. So I started manufacturing as many of these capsules as I could, and sending them to folks all over the U.S. Before long, I couldn't even keep up with the calls, letters, and emails I was getting from people. Folks who suffered from things like dementia and Alzheimer's would call me to say they were noticing big improvements. 55-year-old men and women were writing to tell me that their moods were improved and that their brain fog was disappearing. Even young adults were emailing me stories about how they were using my nootropics to get ahead at work, which I didn't mind since these ingredients are considered safe and are naturally derived. So at this point, I realized that these 4 nootropic ingredients I discovered needed to be shared with as many people as possible, and that it would be up to me to make that happen. That's because the only way Big Pharma would ever want to make these ingredients accessible to everyday folks in the U.S., unless it was via prescription, which would also raise the cost of these ingredients by hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. This meant I couldn't go to Big Pharma and try to work with them, and why instead I needed to go grassroots, to help as many people as possible benefit from these 4 nootropic ingredients immediately, while they were still affordable and easy to find. So, with no other choice, I decided to partner with a team of expert scientists, chemists, and brain researchers. And that was when NeuroDefend was born. Each bottle of NeuroDefend contains 60 capsules inside, and every capsule contains the perfect amount of each of the 4 nootropic ingredients I've shared with you inside this presentation. Because of the quality and proven benefits of each ingredient you'll find inside NeuroDefend, I'm confident in saying this could very well be the most powerful and effective memory supplement on the planet. And now I'm sure you're probably wondering how you can get your hands on NeuroDefend right away. and how long you'll want to take it to achieve the best results possible. The truth is that it's still very difficult for most people to get NeuroDefend. The 4 nootropic ingredients inside need to be shipped from the other side of the world. They're very expensive compared to traditional supplements like omega-3s, and clearing customs alone can take several months. On top of that, combining the ingredients into small, easy-to-swallow capsules adds even more time to the production process. And because NeuroDefend is so effective at fighting memory loss and increasing clarity and focus, almost everyone who uses NeuroDefend one time keeps asking for more bottles, because they never want to feel their old, foggy brain selves again. Plus, on top of all of this, NeuroDefend is becoming very popular at hospitals, retirement facilities, in the senior citizen community, which can make producing enough NeuroDefend for everyone even more difficult. And because the ingredients inside NeuroDefend don't just help with memory, but can also aid in heart health, lower blood pressure, and reduce depression, even people who just have normal age-related memory loss keep ordering NeuroDefend, so they can continue to protect their health. So as a result of the fact that NeuroDefend is expensive to produce, that each batch takes up to 3 months to manufacture, and that it keeps selling out, I routinely don't have any bottles of NeuroDefend available to the public. But with that being said, I also don't want anyone to struggle with a fading memory, or to no longer feel like themselves, or to worry about losing a loved one to dementia or Alzheimer's. That's why, in the next few seconds, I'm going to share how you can get a brand new bottle of NeuroDefend today, through my new Brain Defense initiative. First, though, let me return to that second question, concerning how much NeuroDefend you need to take. It's pretty straightforward. Just take 2 capsules each day for at least 30 days. The reason it's important to take NeuroDefend for at least 30 days is simple. While the 4 nootropic ingredients inside NeuroDefend will go to work right away, it can take at least a few weeks to realize their full potential. Remember, these are ingredients that can help stop brain cell death, increase brainwave activity, and improve brain tissue health. And those aren't the kind of things that happen instantly. Your brain will need time to be fully restored, which is why, even after NeuroDefend has started to improve your short-term memory, focus, and concentration, you'll still want to give it more time to heal your brain on a cellular level. It's for that reason that most health professionals recommend you choose at least 3 bottles of NeuroDefend, and 6 bottles if you want absolute protection for your brain and memory. Then take it for at least 90 days, if not more. That way you can be positive that you're doing everything possible to experience a high-functioning brain. That's the choice over 48,000 Americans just like you have now made. And the folks who take NeuroDefend regularly swear by its effectiveness. Just like Annie P. of Texas, she says, "While I was skeptical about NeuroDefend at first, I've quickly become a raving fan. The differences I've seen in just a few short weeks are astounding. My short-term memory has definitely improved, and I found I don't experience any of the mental crashes I used to. I'm even having a much easier time learning and remembering things. This is a great product, and I'm very appreciative that you've made it available to folks like me." And Dennis R. of Georgia, he writes, "My sister's memory started declining in a hurry. The doctor had put her on medication, but it wasn't making a big difference. I felt like I was running out of options, and I didn't know where to turn. Then a friend of mine told me about NeuroDefend. I truly believe it saved my sister. She's now back to her old self, and it's like she never had memory problems at all. This is a godsend. Thank you." Those stories are just a few of the hundreds people are sending me each week. And I couldn't be prouder to be playing my part in helping folks reclaim their lives. Now, you should know that NeuroDefend is only available on this website, and only while there are bottles in stock and I'm able to sell it to people, which might not be for that long. The truth is, 2 of the main ingredients inside NeuroDefend have already been patented in Russia and parts of Asia by Big Pharma, and it's likely only a matter of time until they patent these nootropic ingredients in the United States as well. If that happens, the only way to get something like NeuroDefend may be to pay hundreds if not thousands of dollars to Big Pharma, which makes me sick to think about. It's my solemn goal not to let that happen. But I also don't want you to wait on taking action and protecting your memory with NeuroDefend. NeuroDefend is your best chance for improving memory, learning, and mental performance without drugs. And it's something that can help protect your brain both now and far into the future, so that you're in top mental shape well into your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. Using NeuroDefend might even end up being the key to you staying independent, because you're sharp and you can look out for yourself, which makes it so important that I get it into your hands right now. Of course, that isn't to say there aren't other alternatives out there, and you could try medications like Donepezil if things get really bad. But the truth is, not only do these medications cost thousands of dollars each year, they also come with horrible side effects, and none of them have been proven to actually protect or improve your memory. It's the same way with most brain supplements, too. Some of them do help with short-term problems, but most of the main supplements you hear about out there, including fish oil, are ultimately worthless. So why would you spend $500 per year or more on things like omega-3s when there's no evidence they work, and when you're not even sure what's inside them? Neither medications or most supplements are good options, if you ask me. And because NeuroDefend is so clearly superior, you can understand why I originally planned to ask people to invest $149 per bottle for NeuroDefend. When you think about it, that's a very fair price to pay. It's a lot less than you'll pay for doctor visits, prescriptions, and supplements in a single year. And NeuroDefend has ingredients that are proven to make a major impact in your memory and mental performance. Plus, considering that it's very expensive and time-consuming to get ingredients like Noopept and Paracetam to the U.S., $149 for a full month's supply really is a bargain. Yet, despite all of that, I can tell you right now that my goal here is not to make a ton of money. That's not to say having more money wouldn't be nice, especially since I could use the money for my legal bill against Big Pharma, which is growing larger every day. Ultimately, though, my goal is to help as many people as I can. I've seen firsthand just how powerful the ingredients in NeuroDefend can be. I've seen how my father came back to us after his memory seemed to be gone for good, and how my own brain fog disappeared within a matter of days using NeuroDefend. I've heard from more than 48,000 folks who swear by this memory-enhancing supplement, and I want to continue to reach as many people who can benefit from NeuroDefend as humanly possible. That's why I'm offering this nootropic to the public for the first time as part of my Brain Defense Initiative. And why, if you act right now and make the life-changing decision to join the 48,000-plus men and women before you, you can get your very own supply of NeuroDefend for just $69 per bottle. And that's actually just the beginning. I understand that protecting your brain and your memories isn't just important to you. It's also important to your loved ones, whether those people be relatives or friends. And because I want to ensure that you and those you care about continue to enjoy mental clarity, focus, and performance for years to come, I've created a substantially discounted multi-bottle plan where you can get 6 bottles of NeuroDefend for just $49 per bottle. That's a total of $294. But this special discount is only being offered to you today through this website as part of my Brain Defense Initiative, and only while supplies last. On top of that, you'll also be getting free shipping today, which is a $9.99 value. But both the discount and the free shipping are for a limited time. And when I run out of bottles of NeuroDefend again, it will take 3 months or longer before I have more. So click the button below this video right now and choose the 6-bottle package or any other package you want to secure your order. In the grand scheme of things, this is one of the smallest but most important investments you will ever make in your health. A single bottle of NeuroDefend will help you to be less forgetful while improving your focus and concentration. 3 bottles will do the same thing while dramatically improving your memory and mental performance. And 6 bottles of NeuroDefend will be like completely refreshing your brain on a cellular level, so that your memory is crystal clear and you're entirely alert and present during every moment of every single day. So at this point, you're probably asking, how do I get started? And the answer is easy. Simply click the button below right now and choose the package of NeuroDefend that's right for you. After pressing that button, you'll go to my secure checkout page, where you'll enter your order details. And within just 5 business days from today, you will receive NeuroDefend at your front door. So go ahead and click that button now, while I still have NeuroDefend in stock. This should be a very easy decision to make, by the way, because your investment today is also covered by a 180-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Here are the details. Right now, you just say maybe to NeuroDefend by placing your order. Then, once you get your bottles in a few short days from now, start taking your 2 capsules each day and see how you feel. You'll most likely notice that you're sharper and more alert, and that you no longer suffer from memory fog or mental crashes. Within the first week, you should begin feeling like your old self again. And that sense of mental clarity and calm will only grow in the following weeks and months. That's the way it's been for 48,000 folks before you who have decided to try NeuroDefend. And if for any reason that's not what your experience is like when you use NeuroDefend, or you change your mind about this investment for any reason at all, just call or email my award-winning customer service team at any point, and you'll receive a full refund immediately, with 0 hassles and 0 questions asked. What this means is that you've got no downside here at all. This is a 100% risk-free investment, and you have a full 180 days to see if NeuroDefend is right for you. So go ahead and click the button you see below right now and say yes to reclaiming your memory and your life. This video is now almost finished, and it's your decision what happens next. You could just let this presentation end and then continue on with your day. That's certainly your choice. But what will change if you make this decision? What will it be like in a month from now or a year from now if your memory keeps getting worse and you don't know where to turn or what to do? Why would you risk something like that when there's such a simple and risk-free choice in front of you this very moment? That choice is to click the button you see below the video right now, and to get NeuroDefend for yourself for just $69 per bottle, or for much cheaper than that if you choose one of the more popular discounted packages. You'll be covered by a 180-day, 100% money-back guarantee when you make this decision. But time is limited. When supplies of NeuroDefend run out, it could be more than 3 months until we get more in stock. When the Brain Defense Initiative expires, the price goes back up to $149 per bottle, so that I can at least have enough money to pay for my legal expenses as I fight Big Pharma here in the U.S. All of this means you really must act now. My goal and my dream is to make memory loss a thing of the past. And today you can play a big role in helping to make that dream a reality by getting the most powerful brain-protecting supplement on Earth mailed right to your front door. The decision is entirely yours, but I do pray you'll make the right choice. Sincerely, Dan. Still here? No worries. I'm sure you have some questions. In fact, that's pretty regular. So let me go ahead and answer some of the most common questions folks ask right now. That way you can make your investment in NeuroDefend with complete confidence. 1. Who is NeuroDefend for? NeuroDefend is for anyone who wants to improve their memory, mental performance, and cognitive health. The ingredients are proven to be effective and safe, which means no matter if you're 30 or 90 years old, this breakthrough can make a huge difference in your life. 2. What are nootropics? Nootropics are also known as smart pills. The term refers to ingredients and supplements that help to improve your memory and mental performance. Billionaires in Silicon Valley take nootropics regularly to operate at genius levels, but most folks in the U.S. still haven't heard of them. My goal is to change all of that by getting proven nootropic ingredients into the hands of everyday Americans who can benefit from them. 3. What are the ingredients inside NeuroDefend? NeuroDefend contains 4 powerful nootropic ingredients: Noopept, Paracetam, choline, and L-theanine. Combined, there have been hundreds of studies about these nootropic ingredients, and their effectiveness is well documented by top scientists and medical experts. That makes them the ideal choice for anyone looking to improve their memory, cognition, and ability to function at a high level. 4. How often should I take NeuroDefend for best results? You should take 2 capsules per day for at least 30 days. If you really want the best results, however, I recommend that you take NeuroDefend for at least a full 6 months. The reason why is that the longer you take NeuroDefend, the more time you give your brain to repair and be healed. 5. How long will NeuroDefend be available for? I'm unsure. My goal is that NeuroDefend becomes a household name. But given how aggressively Big Pharma is trying to patent these nootropic ingredients, the product might become unavailable at any time. 6. Please remind me about the guarantee you mentioned. NeuroDefend comes with a 180-day, 100% money-back guarantee. This means that after you get your supply of NeuroDefend, you have a full 6 months to see if it's right for you. Almost everyone who uses NeuroDefend reports that they love it. But if for any reason your experience is different, simply call or email my customer service team 24/7 and you'll get a full refund of your investment with 0 questions asked. 7. All right, I'm excited to get started. What now? It's easy. Just click the button below right now, and then choose whichever package of NeuroDefend is right for you. Then after you've completed our short and easy checkout process, NeuroDefend will be shipped to your front door. You should get your package within 5 business days. And remember, this is an entirely risk-free decision because you're covered by the 180-day, 100% money-back guarantee.